Hello, Tigers. Happy Wednesday. Congratulations. You made it through your classes. Now on to finals. I'm so glad you're here. All you're going to need for today's class is something that makes you comfortable on the ground. That can be a yoga mat, aerobic mat, whatever. And then if you've got some water, just go ahead and put it next to you on the mat. That way you don't have to leave the screen. And we will get started. So we're going to start in a standing position today. Our feet are going to be slightly wider than our hips, and our toes are nice and pointed out, almost like a lazy second position. We're going to start with the shoulders up and back. And we want to think about the shoulder blades pushing down while the front of our body is pulling up. And right here, you'll start to feel the engagement of the lower abdominal muscles. And we want to keep that engagement throughout the entire class. First thing we're going to do is bring our attention to our breath. In Pilates, we want to breathe through the diaphragm and through our back. One way we do that is we think about the ribs expanding and concaving in. So go ahead and place your fingers right here at the base of those ribs. You should feel the bottom one. We're going to inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. Go ahead and join me. Inhale. 3, 4, and exhale. 3, 4. Beautiful. What we want to see are the ribs expand and the ribs get concave in. We want the shoulders to stay down. Try it again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Keep the breath throughout the class, and we're going to go ahead and lower the chin down to the chest. You can let the eyes close for just a few seconds. And before we get started, I want you to think about an intention that you may have throughout the class. This can be a goal. This can be you want to feel strong. You want to gain flexibility. Maybe balance. It could be something more broad. Maybe you just want to come and give these next 35-ish, 40 minutes to yourself. But whatever that is, go ahead and pinpoint it and really have it in your mind. Throughout the class, there will be moments where I'll remind you to think of that intention. When you're ready, just opening the eyes, keeping the chin down to the chest. Go ahead and take an inhale. And exhale, we're gonna roll one ear over to that shoulder. Hey girls! Feeling the opposite side of the neck, extend, and this shoulder's pulling down. Take an inhale. And exhale, roll through the front, switching sides. Beautiful. Take an inhale one more time, both directions. And inhale. Exhale one more time. And inhale, chin back down to the chest. Now we're going to curl the spine and we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time into a forward fold, more like a ragdoll pose. And when you get to the bottom, I want your head to relax. So I don't want you to be looking at your hands. I want your gaze to be more in between your legs. You can shake your head, yes. Yes and no, both directions, making sure the back of the neck is relaxed. And if you want to release the lower back even further, you can grab opposite elbows and the hands will be slightly hovering off the floor. On that exhale, see if your lower back can release even further. One more inhale and exhale. And beautiful. When you're ready, our hands are coming to the mat and we're going to straighten our arms. This may mean that your chest comes up ever so slightly. We're going to walk our hands forward about 5 to 6 inches and our gaze is now toward the floor in between our hands. You may have to adjust ever so slightly, make any adjustments you need. ready, we're gonna place our left hand in the center of our gaze. We're gonna inhale the right hand up. A light spinal twist here, opening the chest. Take an inhale and exhale, switching sides. Right hand to the center, inhale the left hand up. Take an inhale and exhale one more time, both directions. Left hand in the center, inhale the right hand up. And exhale that hand down last time. Inhale the left hand up. And exhale both hands to the floor. If your legs are straightened, we're gonna go ahead and bend them together. We wanna push our weight back into our heels. We're gonna sit here for just a few seconds. You can rock side to side. This is a modified frog pose, so the hips are just opening. You can even pick up the toes if you want. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, we're gonna straighten our legs, and the head is going to come in between the hands again. Beautiful. We're gonna go through that flow 3 times. So we inhale, bend the knees, head comes up. And exhale, straighten the knees, head in between. 2 more times, inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale, beautiful. And while you're here, you can walk your hands up, bring your back up ever so slightly. You can slightly bend the knees, and we're gonna roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. And roll the shoulders back. Beautiful. Grab a drink if you need. We're gonna get to pumping pretty soon. I'm going to grab a drink. Hopefully the body feels a little warm now. We're gonna do a little bit more warming. The easiest muscle for us to pull is our hamstring and our hip flexor. So I always like to warm up those very, very first. That way we avoid strain at all costs. So we're gonna come back to this wide stance. Toes are facing the outside. We're just gonna start with a few inhales and exhales. So we'll inhale, slightly bend the knees, arms come up, and exhale, the hands release. We inhale, arms come up. And exhale, arms release. 2 more. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, arms release. Last one. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, 1 more. Inhale, arms come up. And now we're going to go into a swing squat. So instead of lightly bending the knees are going to come all the way. The thighs are parallel to the floor. And we swing back up. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. If you have to adjust the feet, you're more than welcome to do so. 3 more right here. You should be feeling the tops of the thighs starting to get a little warm. If you feel a quiver, that's good. That means the muscles are working. Last one. We're going to hold here at the bottom. So you may have to walk the feet out because we want our knees to be over the ankles. And we're holding right here. I want you to think about the knees pressing back. Beautiful. Holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise up slowly. Hands on the waist, rocking side to side. Beautiful. We're going to do the flow 2 more times. For this next one, we're going to do a swing squat, except our chest is going to come down. I'll show you. Let's just start with some inhales and exhales. So we inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down, last one. Inhale up. And now for this swing squat, the chest is going to come forward. And then we swing it up. Beautiful. So this is going to work the hip flexor a little bit more than the top of the quad. And inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Beautiful. Exhale down. Inhale up. 1 more. Keep the chest high here. And we're holding. If you want a little bit of a challenge, we're going to lift the heel of our right foot. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower, lifting the left heel for 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want both heels for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rising up, hands on hips, shake it out. We have the flow one more time. This time the chest is staying high. Here we go. Just inhales and exhales first, 2 of these. Beautiful. Here we go. We inhale up and exhale down. See if you can get even lower. Beautiful. Inhale up. Exhale down. Lovely. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. We're going to hold one more time. Inhale up and exhale down. Right here, we're going to find tiny little pulses. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come to the mat. Straighten the legs. Rock side to side. Beautiful. Finding that breath. Good work. If you want, you can walk your chest over to one leg, grasping that leg with your arms, pulling the chest down. And release to the opposite side. And release to the center. Slightly bend the knees, roll up one vertebrae at a time. And roll the shoulders. Beautiful. Grab a drink. We're moving down to the mat. Good work. How are the thighs feeling? That always gets me, I know. Me too. I do them like 3 times a week, so they're still hard for me. All right, we're going to come down to our mat, on our back, and our feet are flat on the floor. Next, we're moving on to our core muscles. The core is going to work the entire class. I'm sure you felt it at the beginning of class as well, and that's great. When we're here on the floor, one of the tricky parts with Pilates is the goal is to make the spine as flat as possible. So our spine has a natural C curve at the bottom. Totally fine. For this class, what we want to do is overcorrect it. So we actually end up tucking the belly button into the spine and laying the vertebrae down. So you may have to slightly pick up the hips and roll the vertebrae down. And what this does is it creates an active resting position. So even when you're just laying, your core muscles are still working. So you may, it's going to look different on everybody. So you may have to adjust a few times to find that sweet spot. But it should not feel like a resting position. So the belly button's into the spine and the back is nice and flat. Our hands are down by our hips. Our feet are flat on the floor. What we're going to do is we're going to start to inhale. We're going to lift the shoulders off the mat and we exhale back down. This is just a light crunch. We inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. We inhale up, we exhale down. 4 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, belly button into the spine. Exhale down. Last 2. Inhale up, exhale down. Last 1. Inhale up, exhale down. Now we're going to come to the top and hold right here. If the core is quivering, that's great. The muscles are working. Belly button into the spine. 8 more seconds. If you want, you can pulse the hands here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the head. Bring the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. We have that flow 2 more times. We have a few variations if you want to take them, or you can do the exact same thing we just did. All right, when you're ready, bring the feet back to the back. Find that correction of the C curve, so belly button into the spine. And you can keep your feet flat on the mat, or if you want to challenge, we're gonna pick up our feet, bringing our knees together, and we're making this inverted tabletop position. What this does, it makes it a little bit more difficult to keep that C curve corrected. So the bottom of the core muscles are gonna work a little bit harder. Wherever you are, hands are down by the hips. Let's start with our crunch. We inhale up and exhale down. We inhale up and exhale down. We inhale up and exhale down. Up and down. 4 more. We inhale up and exhale down. We inhale and exhale. Last 2. We inhale and exhale. Last 1. We got this. Inhale and exhale. Hold at the top. If you want to add the pulse, you can. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, knees into the chest. Rocking side to side. Woo! Take a drink if you need. We have the flow one more time. All right, when you're ready, finding that correction of the C curve first. Feet are either flat or up in the tabletop. If you want a bigger challenge, you can even straighten the legs straight up to the ceiling. So your options, flat, tabletop, or straight up. Wherever you are, hands by the hips. Here we go. We inhale up and exhale down. We inhale up and exhale down. We inhale up and exhale down. Inhale and exhale. 4 more. We inhale and exhale. Beautiful work. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. We inhale and exhale. Up and hold. Let's go. Add the pulse. Pulse. 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, knees into the chest, rock side to side. Beautiful work. Let's open the hips a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. You can even grasp onto the to the ankles, and let those hips just open to the side. If you want even more of a stretch, you can grasp the insides of the feet and open the legs. This is happy baby pose. Beautiful. If you're in happy baby, coming back to butterfly, so soles of the feet together. And if you're in butterfly, go ahead and bring the feet back down to the mat. Next, we're going to do 4 roll-ups. I'm going to show you what this is, but then we'll do it on our own time. So what we do is we extend our feet, and we try to correct the C curve as best we can. It's very difficult, especially for the female anatomy, because our glutes tend to stick out a little bit further. But do the best you can to bring the belly button into the spine. And what we do is our hands are going to come up above our head. And we're going to roll up the body, literally like a fruit roll up. So we're going to start with the hands. Re-inhale and the hands lead the way. When our hands get in the gaze of our eyes, our shoulders and neck start to follow. The chin is tucked and the back stays curled. And we come all the way into a forward fold. Then we inverse that. We come up to a forward fold, back nice and straight, and then we inverse. So we curl right here. For me, that is the most difficult part. We lay it down, and then the hands release. If you need some support, what you can do is use one hand, and the opposite hand can help lift the core off the mat. Just make sure every time you do it, you switch arms. But go ahead and do 4 on your own time, using your own breath. So you can go as slow or as quick as you want. For my body, the slower I go, the more difficult. But maybe you try a different way. See what works best for you. The main thing to remember is the breath. Belly button into the spine. Going down should be just as difficult, if not more difficult, than going up. So make sure you're trying to lose that momentum, making the muscles do all of the work. When you're on your fourth one, go ahead and land in a forward fold position. So you'll be seated and your chest will be lowered down to the thighs. Whenever you're ready, land in that forward fold. In the forward fold, our goal is to get our chest lower. It's actually not to reach our toes. So what we can do is make sure the legs are straight. And then what you can do is grab a part of the body. So you can grab the calves, grab the thighs, grab the ankles. And our goal is to pull the chest forward. So if you're having to bend the legs in order to touch the toes, it's actually losing the stretch. So wherever you are, the goal is to bring the chest down. Beautiful. Take an inhale. And exhale, beautiful. Walking the hands up. Coming up to a strong seated position. Grab a drink if you need. We're going to move on to our hands and knees. Beautiful work, you guys. We have a few more flows until we get into our stretching. You're doing so fabulous. All right, whenever you're ready, join me on your hands and knees. We're going to talk a little bit about our alignment here. The same way on our back that we have that C curve, we actually have it here as well. So it's very common for us to have that slight curl. What we want to do is correct it. So we're going to bring the belly button into the spine and slightly tucking the tailbone. So we don't want to do it too much to where we have an arched, like an arched back, but just ever so slightly. So right here, we're already active. The bottom abdominal muscles are already working, which for my body are the hardest muscles for me to target. So that's why this work is so great. And then we want our shoulders to be lifted. So if you're right here, you're a little crunchy, think about rolling the shoulders back. So the triceps are already working, the chest muscles are working. And then last thing are the legs. We want to make sure our hips and knees are right in line and our feet are nice and flat. For this exercises, we don't want to crunch our toes. We want to keep the legs extended. So right here, with the shoulders up, the core engaged, you're already working. And if this is enough for you, then it's enough for you. So you can stay right here if you want. If you want to go a little bit further, what we're going to do is move into some Chaturanga or yoga push-ups. So we're going to keep our hands nice and wide on the mat. And we're going to keep them nice and under the shoulders. What we're going to do is we're going to come down for 2, and our elbows are going to stay in the body. And then we press up. This is also called Doggy Bow Pose. If you have a dog, you know that they kind of bow before they play. It's kind of that idea. So what we do is we inhale, we come down for 2 and up for 2. So right here, we're working these tricep muscles. The elbows stay into the body. Here we go. And down for 2 and up for 2. Down for 2 and up for 2. Find the breath. Down and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Down for 2 and up for 2. Last 2. Down for 2 and up for 2. Last one. Down for 2 and up for 2. Open the hips slightly. Sit back in child's pose. Beautiful. We just have that flow one more time. When you're ready, take an inhale and meet me back on your hands and knees. Finding that neutral position, core is engaged, shoulders are lifted. You can stay right here, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, I'm going to walk my hands about 3 inches forward, and I'm going to shift my weight forward. So my shoulders are meeting my wrist. What this does, it just puts a little bit more weight on the arms, but it's totally up to you. Here we go. We come down for 2 and up for 2, down for 2, and up for 2, down for 2, and up for 2, down for 2, and up. Woo! 2 more. Here we go. We're down for 2, and up for 2. Last one. Down for 2, and up for 2. Open the hips. Sit back in child's pose. Beautiful. Stretching out these arms a little bit. When you're ready, we're going to inhale one arm up to the sky, and exhale. We're going to weave it under the opposite shoulder, and just laying down on that shoulder. And release that arm. Go ahead and inhale the opposite arm up. And exhale in between. We have one more flow before we get into some stretches. And release that arm. Take a drink if you need, but whenever you're ready, join me back on your hands and knees. The last flow today is called Rainbow Flow, one of my most favorites. So first we're going to start in that neutral position, belly button into the spine, shoulders are nice and lifted. And when you're ready, all we're going to do is shift our weight over to one side and lift one leg up parallel to the floor. We want to either point or flex the foot. It's up to you. I prefer to point, but you may differ, and that's totally fine. But what that does is it always engages the leg. If we keep the foot relaxed, then the leg is often relaxed. And rainbow flow is what it sounds. We're actually going to draw a rainbow with our toes. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, and the foot's going to come behind that opposite leg, and it touches lightly. Then we inhale, we come up and around, and the toe touches. And this is slow and controlled. You'll feel it in the glutes and the hip flexors. Here we go. We inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. The higher your rainbow goes, the more difficult it can be. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. It can also go wider to make it more difficult. And inhale. And release. 2 more. Inhale. Your supporting leg may be feeling it as well. Totally normal. 1 more time, both directions. And exhale. And our foot's coming back to parallel. We're going to lift the leg a few inches, holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing the knee down. Open the hips, sit back in child's pose. Beautiful. We have it 1 more time on our left side. When you're ready, coming back up to the hands and knees. Last flow, you're doing awesome, we got this. Finding that strong position here first. And when you're ready, shifting your weight over to lift the opposite leg parallel to the floor, pointing or flexing that foot. And when you feel comfortable here, we're going to start to draw our rainbow. So we inhale and exhale. Then we inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. You can follow me on the timing, or if you find something that's better for you, we're doing 8 total. If you want more of a challenge, make it higher and wider. And exhale. Woo! Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last two. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. We've got this. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Coming back to parallel. Lifting the leg up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering the leg. Open the hips. Sit back in child's pose. Woo! If you want, you can lay onto one side of your face. You can bring the hands down by the heels. This is called leaf pose. Whether if you're in child's pose or a leaf pose, just take a few minutes to let your body sink. We're going to get into some stretches. So if you're in leaf pose, go ahead and come back to child's pose. And when you get to child's pose, come back up to your hands and knees. We won't be here long. We're going to move into pigeon pose. So what we do is we're going to bring one leg forward. We're going to bring the knee to the wrist. And the goal is for the opposite ankle to be at the opposite wrist. Everyone may not be there. Totally fine. And then what we want to do is shimmy, shimmy, shimmy that back foot back. The kicker is we want to be seated on the hip, not off the hip. So make sure you're up and lifted. Some people are even hovering off the mat, totally normal. But find a position that works for you. You should be feeling a stretch right here in the front hip. If you want to go a little bit further, if you feel pretty confident, what you can do is start to lower the chest down. You can either come on the elbows, or maybe you straighten the arms and come all the way down to the floor. This is not always the most comfortable stretching position, so if you feel a little struggle, that's okay. We won't be here too long. Take an inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. If you're down on the mat, coming back up to the elbows. If you're on the elbows, coming back up to the hands. And all together, this is my most favorite part. We're going to roll off on our hip in 3, 2, 1. And roll out of it. Lovely. I love that. You can even roll out the hip a little if you want. Beautiful. We're going to do the opposite side. Coming back on the hands and knees. And when you're ready, finding the position that works best for you on this side. It's very common to have different flexibility points on the different sides of our body. Is the word ambidextrous? Is that it? Can you both? Anyway, we are typically not ambidextrous humans, so it's okay. The side's always a little more tense for me. But wherever you are, find the position where you get the best stretch. So maybe that's down on the elbows or all the way down to the mat. We're the most flexible on our exhales. So use that to your advantage. On the exhale, see if you can sink any lower. Take an inhale and exhale. One more, take an inhale. And exhale. If you're down on the mat, coming back up to the elbows. If you're on the elbows, coming back up to the hands. And all together, we're gonna roll up on the hip in 3, 2, 1, roll up. Beautiful. Do anything you need, and when you're ready, we're gonna come to a seated position. One more stretchy, stretchy pose, and this is called mermaid pose, another one of my favorites. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring both legs over to one side. This may look different for everybody, so some people stack their legs, some people open their legs to a Z position. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter as long as the hips are on one side. And when you're ready, we're gonna inhale the arms up. Exhale, we're gonna lean toward the feet first, keeping the chest nice and open. And inhale, arms up. And exhale away from the feet. Inhale, arms up. One more time toward the legs. And exhale. And inhale, arms up. And release, switching sides. Finding that position that works for you. When you're ready, inhale the arms up. And exhale toward the legs. Inhale the arms up. Exhale away. Last time, inhale the arms up. And exhale away. Beautiful, release. We're gonna come to a seated position. So for me, I like to sit in a crisscross position. Some people prefer their legs open and out. You can sit in butterfly, whatever you prefer. But let's find our nice and tall stance, just like we did at the beginning of class, only this time we're seated. The belly bends into the spine, and we're gonna bring our attention back to the breath. So placing our hands back on the base of our ribs, let's take an inhale. And exhale. Hopefully your ribs are able to move a little bit more than they did at the beginning. Inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale. Our breath capacity is so lovely. When you're ready, bringing the chin down to the chest. And just close the eyes. We're going to take our next few moments to relax and give to ourselves. If you want, you can just focus first on the breath. The rise and fall of the body. Maybe you remember the intention you set at the beginning of class. Did you feel as though your intention was met? Or did you get something completely different than what you thought? Whatever it is, just take it in. I always say the hardest part of every class is walking into the door, is walking through the door, is showing up, getting in your car, getting your clothes on. So no matter how you did in the class or how you feel you did the hardest part. You showed up. So take a few moments to think of things that made you proud in this class. And it's okay to feel pride in ourselves and in the work that we do. And I'm giving you complete permission for these next few minutes to be literally just about you. So whatever that means to you, maybe it's thinking about things you're thankful for, things you're proud of, things you're ready for. Or maybe you can inhale positive things about yourself, things you love, things you cherish. And exhale anything that may stand in your way, may lower your confidence or put up your walls. You can add a little movement here by rocking the head side to side, shoulder to shoulder. One more time, both directions. When you're ready, the chin's back down to the chest, keeping the eyes closed. When you're ready, just lift the face and open the eyes. Beautiful job today. I like to end all of my classes with namaste. If you don't know what namaste means, it just means the inner light in me sees, loves, recognizes the inner light in all of you. And I really do. I'm so happy that we're all here. Today is actually my last class at the University of Memphis, so it's been such a privilege and an honor working with all the friends that have been here and new people. Please continue. Great for the being. So if you want to join me, what we do is we put our hands together. The fingers come up to the head, down to the chin, and finish at the heart. And we have a slight bow and we say namaste. Namaste, friends. Thank you so much for coming. Y'all have an awesome week of finals. And you guys at home, thanks you so much for joining. Please stay safe.